I think much, of course, I know it's not that way now, but the type of tyranny that Canada and Australia, New Zealand, and Europe is under is just kind of mind-boggling. I keep hearing from you all, and I read all your comments, and it really, really is mind-boggling. Anyway, a lot of you, including myself, I'm able to separate that out, are under anguish and desperation of the soul. It's kind of screaming out. And, I'm 53 years old. I'm not that old, but I'm pretty old, and I can't work 7 days a week, and that's what I do now. I do have 6 jobs. And what it is the soul screaming out. It's the soul's opposition to this modern life. We're bombarded by so much electromagnetic EMR. And all of these gadgets that are supposed to make our life easier, and it is great. You can have an iPad or a phone or whatever. You can do all your banking on there. You can watch TVs and movies. And speaking of TV, I canceled my TV service, so that's saving me nearly $90 a month. I've canceled my TV service. A lot of you applauded me when I mentioned that in the last video. But all these things that are supposed to make our life easier, they're not. I'm actually more at peace and calm in 2 places. One, in theurgy, which is very blissful and wonderful. And 2, when I'm actually doing hard work, when I'm, hammering on leather or sewing leather up, making stuff like I was last night. That's what human beings are meant to do. They're meant to be reflexive of the one and be creative. And most people are not creative. I'm sorry, but pounding, and I do a lot of writing. Nobody's like hammering on the keyboard more than me. And I love being creative and I do a lot of writing, way more than most people. But, other than producing things that other people like, and I've got my Substack, which of course is in the description below, and write lots of articles. The people cruise on the net, and they watch, movies and stuff like that, and humanity is not bettering themselves by doing this stuff. So there are ways to hammer the keyboard, like creative writing. But anyway, this is the soul's opposition to modern life.